Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Paid Search Podcast. My name is Jason Rothman. As always, I'm joined by the great Chris Schaefer. Chris, how was your Thanksgiving? Did you eat a lot of turkey?
Oh my goodness. It was just great, Jason. I am so full of thankfulness.
Good. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was
What are you
great.
going to do? What are you going to do? What did you do?
What
What
did
are
I
you going to eat?
do?
What did you do? What did you
Right.
eat? Yeah. We're in the future of the past here.
Right. We're trying to fake it. Sorry, guys. I ate.
What are you going to do? Let me ask you.
Okay. So we're
It's so
not
much easier
pretending.
to be honest, isn't it?
Yeah, let's
Isn't
be
it such
honest.
a
Yeah, we're
burden off your shoulders
we're
to be
recording
honest?
this before Thanksgiving, pretending
Yeah.
that we're after Thanksgiving. So,
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do is uh, I do two Thanksgivings as I always have, because I have family from my wife's side and my side that are both close. So we do two Thanksgivings. I'll be doing Thanksgiving this weekend, and then a few days after that, I'll be doing another Thanksgiving. So
A lot of Thanksgiving.
it's a lot of Thanksgiving, a lot of family, a lot of eating, a lot of
You like the
traveling.
meal, you like the turkey, you like the stuffing.
Um, yes.
Good, good.
What do you eat? What's your favorite?
I like it all, Chris. I like it all.
No,
I
what do you get the biggest helping of?
everything. I like the stuffing. I like everything. I like the stuffing. I like the turkey. I like the gravy. It's probably
Yeah.
probably where the most action is. Um, I like the real cranberry sauce. The one thing I'm not a fan of is these sweet potatoes and these marshmallows that people
The
bring to the
marshmallows. You could leave.
gatherings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can leave the
you
marshmallows
can take
off.
those. Yeah,
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 yeah, sweet potato, like sweet potato casserole, sweet potato, just baked in the oven with some cinnamon and sugar. Sure,
yeah,
soft. Oh, excellent. But yeah, what am I, a child?
yeah,
I mean, marshmallows on top of this? No,
yeah.
no.
I'm digging it, Chris. It just snuck up on me this year. It was hot. It was hot. It was hot.
It's
Like I
hot,
mentioned
and then
every week,
yeah, up until like
and then
20
boom,
minutes ago,
Thanksgiving.
it got cold.
Yeah, but it's what a time of year, Chris. What a time of year.
I'll tell you.
I'm just digesting this turkey meal I'm about to have many
That makes
times
sense.
over the upcoming days. But I'm also digesting the conversation we had
That
last
was fun.
week.
Yeah.
Very heavy topics there, Chris. Very impactful decisions you have to make inside of a Google Ads account. We teased it and we delivered. Those are
Ooh,
real decisions that have real impacts on your performance.
death match. Yeah. It's like a
Deathmatch.
death match of choices. Yeah, it's a rough. Yeah, and guys, we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again because it was really fun to have this conversation, make some hard decisions, and we're gonna go in. We're gonna talk about different decisions. And what I like about this is none of these are fake kind of like things that I don't come across. All of these things are decisions I have to make all the time. Every
Mm,
account's different. And sometimes, it's tough to make that decision. And so it's like, which if we had to pick one or the other, what are we going to go with? I like that whole kind of idea. It forces us to kind of make a decision on what we think is best, because that's what people want. They want to know, like, okay, gun to your head, what are you choosing? A or B?
yeah. Yep.
Very violent. It's a violent episode that's going
And
through.
why? And explain why.
And
Take your
explain
time,
why.
calm down, and explain
Yeah,
why.
explain why. Hold on, I'm loading the gun.
But explain why.
Explain why.
Yeah, the death match, the gun to the head. Hey, Chris, it's Thanksgiving. Let's take it
Yeah,
easy here.
you're right.
Let's eat some marshmallow. I think you need a little more
More
marshmallow.
marshmallow. Yeah.
Mellow, marsh the mellow out here, Chris,
Hmm.
and just chill out.
Maybe
Sit
mellow the
back,
marsh.
mellow the marsh the
There we go.
mellow. Take a sip of your hot chocolate, and then deliver for me, Chris. Let's go.
Okay, that's what I'm here for. Well, I'm going to deliver you guys something to be thankful for. Optio.com/PSP is doing a special offer right now for a 2-month free trial of their amazing Google Ads software. This software goes into your account, uses its amazing analytical muscles that I don't understand, but basically it puts out this priority list of attention. Here's the top things that you need to be aware of. This. Some of your negative keywords are causing some major issues. This keyword is costing you tons of profitability. You could be doubling your returns if you increased this bid or change this match type or pause this ad. All of these things are things you may not be able to see, especially if you have a complicated campaign, a campaign that you don't check very often. If you're not constantly going into the account, you may not even see these things because you're just checking basics. And for those of you that constantly check accounts, you may be blind to it because you have, you start to get a blindness on some of these items. You start to just see the campaign, check the same things. You run dry on creativity. This is a creative tool that pushes you to make decisions like we're talking about today. You need to make decisions about the account, draw a line, make a choice, move forward. And the great thing is it makes all those choices very streamlined. Boom, 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 boom. You can make those choices. You're going to like the tool. You can try it for free. Links in the description. I'll say it again, just so you don't forget. opteo.com/PSP.
Okay, Chris, thank you. The decisions here that one must make inside of a Google Ads account at a campaign by campaign level, for the most part, are not getting any easier here. We're not going to talk it through we're going to walk through the decision making process that we use to determine whether we're going to use a manual bidding strategy or an automated bidding strategy on a campaign. Let's do our best to make this conversation just a little bit easier here, Chris.
Okay.
Automated bidding. What are we talking about? What I'm talking about is maximize conversions or maximize clicks. To me, that's pretty much the extent of the automated bidding styles that I use when I use automated bidding. Is that fair to limit it to?
No, I don't think it's fair.
Okay.
I think there is a ton of people that use target CPA, target cost per acquisition.
Hey,
and also,
Chris, you're flexing your manual guns here. Just calm down. Like you're like, oh, I'm not even into automated bids, so I'm going to call it the wrong thing. I get what you're doing. Target CPA bidding, aka maximize conversions with a target CPA in place. Are you going to be that specific on me that I did not tell you that I use a target cost per conversion in place? So you're going to say I was talking about something different?
Okay. Well, I mean, technically, I think they actually, you're right. I think they technically changed the naming system and got rid of target CPA, and it's now just maximize conversions with a goal. So you're probably, you're right. You're right. I was flexing a little.
No, you might be right, Chris.
You might be right.
You know what's so funny here is, at least on this one account, this one day in time, and this is new. This is new for me. Maybe it's because it's an old campaign. I'm switching from manual to automated, Chris. My understanding of it was that target CPA is being phased out, and you have maximized conversions with a target cost per conversion goal. That would be what target CPA is, or maximize conversions with a target ROAS goal. That would be what target ROAS is. What's interesting on this one campaign, it's an old campaign, so who knows? But when I click from manual to automated, I've got maximized conversions with no option to put in a goal. And then I've got separately target CPA with an option for the high or whatever goal you want. And then target ROAS with an option for whatever ROAS percentage you want. So who knows which I thought it was going the other direction, I swear. But maybe it's because this is an old campaign. But when I say maximize conversions, Chris, I mean target CPA, I mean target ROAS. When I say maximize clicks, I mean maximize clicks. Is that fair? Basically, I guess, what am I not counting? I'm not counting the impression share stuff.
Yeah, target impression share, which is so rarely used. It's so rarely appropriate. I rarely see it in the wild. So yeah, I think okay. So yes,
my goodness gracious, I've had too much turkey. I'm acting like a turkey. I was on a display campaign.
That's it.
Let me flip to a search campaign, and while I'm doing that, you can kind of continue the conversation here.
So when it comes to this conversation, so let's as Jason did, let's define what our choices are. Manual bids, which is
thank you, Chris. I've now found it, so I'm gonna
Okay.
share that with you. But just you talking was better than dead air, a lot better. So I appreciate that. You got maximized
My
clicks,
talking is better than that is. Thank you
Chris.
so.
I
That's
got
such a great.
a lot of turkey in my mouth here, Chris. I didn't mean that. Of course, I didn't mean that. Where are you're gonna blow up at the family dinner? You're gonna make it. Don't make a scene.
I'm gonna flip the.
Don't
I'm
make
gonna
a
flip the
scene.
table.
Don't make it. There's children around, Chris. Don't make a scene.
They should leave.
Okay, be a good example. Uncle Chris has been drinking again at Thanksgiving. He's yelling at the TV about the Detroit Lions. What are you doing, Chris? They play every year. On a search campaign, what I'm seeing for the options for automated strategy, and no, I did not mean that, Chris, came out wrong. But maximize clicks, maximize conversions, where you can set a target CPA, and then maximize conversion value, where you can set a target return on ad spend goal, target ROAS. So maximize clicks or maximize conversions, maximize conversion value. And then the only other option there for automated, target impression share. So when I do automated, it's either about conversions or clicks, not so much impression share, but continue on.
So when it comes to manual bids, there's only one manual. And some people don't even understand that there is a manual because it's kind of hidden in the settings on even, being able to choose it. In fact, when you create a campaign in Google Ads, you can't even choose manual. It's very much a suppressed option. So basically what we're talking about is super hidden feature defined as manual bidding, which you have to be looking for it in order to find it, or every other option in Google Ads, which is what we refer to as automated bidding. Manual bids, you get to actually choose how much you pay per click. You actually get to choose down to the penny on how much you bid, 32 cents or $32. You choose that. Automated bidding, you just say, hey, here's my goal, or I don't have a goal. Just do what you can with what's out there. So that's the conversation.
Either get me the most clicks or get me the most conversions, but I don't have a specific cost per click bid goal, or I don't have a specific cost per lead or return on spend goal.
Yeah. And that's the choice we're presented with here. The cage has been closed. Let's proceed with the match. I'll tell you, I'm just going to go right out of the gate. I don't think we're going to disagree on this. I don't know. It'll be interesting if we do. I would be shocked if we disagree. But if I had to choose, if I only had one, for the rest of my life, I had to marry one bidding strategy and stick with it and sign the papers and have, 50 kids with it, it would be manual bids. Period. I would pick it and I wouldn't look back.
I mean, I think about that's a very consequential decision you just laid out there for life.
Yes.
Yeah,
for life.
Okay.
I would do it.
On one account, one campaign. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong saying that. I don't think you can go wrong.
No, all. E-commerce.
On everything.
Lead generation. YouTube campaigns, display campaigns,
small accounts with
small
one
account,
campaign,
big
huge
account,
accounts with 50 campaigns. Wow!
Jason, I just turned on before we started this podcast. Just turned on a $15,000 spend campaign. It was manual.
Yeah. I feel like I'm gonna get physically assaulted here if I don't agree with you.
If they
hundreds of miles
invented
away
a screen that I could punch through, I mean, I'd buy it. Because if you say it wrong.
I'm trying to think if that's the right decision. Okay. Sure. Like, yes, it's hard to disagree with that because you get to be in full control.
Yeah.
And this will kind of lead the discussion here. There are situations where, and you better admit to this, Chris, here after Thanksgiving, you've had that honest turkey in you. Let's tell some truth here. There's been some. You've had that honest Abe Lincoln. Like, I'm just combining all the holidays here.
Yeah, that's
America. So
thank you. Yeah,
you're welcome. If you're being honest, there have been campaigns that you've managed where you failed with manual bids and automated bids bailed you out and actually got the good performance that you could not achieve with just manual bids. I've been there. Are you going to admit to being there? Having been there? Okay.
Absolutely. There is an account I'm thinking of right now, that was starving for leads, and I couldn't spend the full budget. I could squeeze by on the acquisition goal that they wanted, and then I switched
Mhm.
it over to automated, and suddenly the clicks doubled, and it was still able to maintain that same thing, and the clicks and the spend doubled. So
Okay.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. So you're absolutely right. There are times, but if I had to choose, I would still stick with manual because I still like that control. You know, I
Yeah.
still prefer the control.
Well, I don't like having to choose, and the good news is you don't have to choose. You don't have to make a choice
That is
here.
the name of the. That's
You don't
what
have
this.
to. No, it's not a death
Oh,
match. It's not a wrestling match. It's not
yeah.
a rodeo here. It's
Gun to your head.
as the original titles for this episode. You came up with Google Ads death match.
Yep.
I
Excellent
came
title.
up
You guys would
with
have clicked on that. If
I came
they would
up.
have frickin'
Oh, they would
clicked
have
on
clicked.
that.
But there's more to life than clickbait, Chris. Someone's got to take a stand against clickbait.
Oh,
And
now you
someone's not
do.
got so yeah, someone's
Three.
not got to not go back and look at the previous episodes that I've titled. But
364 days.
on this honest Thanksgiving, someone needs to start taking a stand.
Oh
And
my gosh.
you don't have to make a choice. But my title was going to be not a death match, but a Google Ads Thanksgiving conversation. Join us forward.
Yeah, I vetoed that one.
Yeah, you did. So we got down to decisions, and okay, you know what? I say you don't have to make a decision here, Chris, but it is the episode of decisions, and at some point in time, you have to decide one or the other for your campaign. For those of you out there listening, you can't do both at the same time on a campaign. Now, you can run an experiment and see how the different bidding strategy works. But what is your overall mindset these days? Is it always manual first, and then if that fails, you go automated?
Yep, that's exactly it. And no, wait. If it fails, no,
It doesn't have to fail. You're right. I thought about that as I said. It
still
doesn't
will.
have to fail.
I will still go with automated, but first I establish a baseline. I
Sure.
establish a steady baseline where I'm seeing consistency. I'm happy with performance. I establish that. Then I will consider automated.
Yeah.
But many times it does not work, and other times it does. But I don't have to. It is always my first thing
Yeah.
I go to is manual.
Yeah, I like that mindset because you kind of see what you're stepping into. You build out a campaign, you have a bunch of keywords in there. Maybe a certain kind of phrase match keyword is going to show you on searches that you want nothing to do with. You don't realize that until you start getting traffic. If you leave it open to any of the automated, but especially maximize clicks, it might find those search terms that you don't want to show up on a ton and give a lot of your budget to that. And then you're kind of stuck until you change it out of automated or pause that keyword. So I like the idea of starting with manual, but sometimes I go in a different direction. Sometimes, and I do this quite a lot these days, is I put on maximize clicks with no bid limit in place to start, just to get the ball rolling. So during those first 3 days, that first week, I don't have to go, oh, I bid $7. We're not getting any impressions, hardly any. Our absolute top percentage is very low. We're missing out on a lot due to rank that's very high. Tomorrow I'm going to try $10 bids. Oh, same story. Third day I'm going to try $12 bids. Same story. Versus just letting maximize clicks do it. It's saying day one, not much is going on. Day two, not much is going on. Day three rolls around. I'm paying $18, $25 a click. Maybe I decide that's too high at some point, but I'm getting that budget spent. I'm getting the volume rolling in. And then you can swap out of it from there once you have cost per click data. So I especially if it's an industry that I haven't worked on before, I love the maximize clicks just to get the ball rolling. And then you can go manual, or you don't have to. Now, what are the situations that you're starting off in manual and then things are going poorly and you decide to go automated bidding? Do you find yourself doing maximize conversions? Do you find yourself doing maximize clicks at that point? What are the problems you're having if you run into that?
Again, it's not necessarily problems. Honestly, if I'm having problems, I'm probably not going to go to automated. I'm probably going to try other things. I look for more of an established baseline before I move in that direction. But the kind of things that I'm looking for automated to do in replacement of manual is basically the one thing that it can do, which is the magic of that algorithm bidding system
Yeah,
where
sure.
it throws in all the stuff that I can't see. What were their previous 3 searches?
Yeah.
What time of day is it? And they recently were browsing pages in reference to this. I
Yeah.
can't
They're
see
just
those
like
things.
these other people who converted. Possibly some of
Yes,
that stuff is going on.
that stuff. That's what I'm hoping that it's going to do, and that it can provide that uplift with that magical quality. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but that's what I'm hoping for whenever I do switch.
So sometimes you switch where you like your cost per conversion performance from manual and you just want to see if you can get better. And then other times you switch because you're having trouble getting conversions.
Right.
Interesting.
I might be getting kind of a very low conversion rate, but at least I can tell you for sure, and tell me if you disagree, but I am not going to swap if I have no conversion data at all.
Well, yeah, if you don't have any conversion data, the only thing you should swap to from manual, if you do swap, is maximize clicks.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's something I see a lot that does not make sense to me is people, well, let me walk that back a little, Chris. If you run maximize conversions for a long time without any conversion data, or you're not even tracking conversions, then what are you doing? Because you're telling the system to optimize based on conversion data that you're not even feeding it. But I have been in spots sometimes there, Chris, where I'm doing manual bids, I'm running on perfect search terms, and we're just not getting conversions like at a high enough rate at all. And I don't have a lot of conversion data to feed it. And then I flip over, but I am tracking, but then I flip over to maximize conversions with a goal. And it's a very magical thing sometimes. It starts producing conversions and real conversion actions that I want, that it seems to go out there and find that I could not find with my own keywords and my own manual bids. And some examples of that would be I start showing up on different search terms, or I start getting clicks from search terms more often that I was not getting a lot from previously, that are not spot on to my searches, but they're kind of a relevancy match to the phrase match keywords. And other times it seems like it's more about the person, where it's the same search terms, but the conversion rate just goes higher. I mean, I say this strongly. You really can't rule out that possibility until you try it, because in the last 3 to 6 months, I have seen some magical things with maximize conversion bidding and maximize conversion value bidding. How do you feel about that, Chris? Does that make you nervous? Does that make you uncomfortable? Or do you accept that when it's good, automated bidding has gotten better than it's been in the past?
It does not make me uncomfortable.
Good.
It makes me happy that, at times it can be a winner, but I'll tell you.
Should it be the goal instead of manual? Even if your manual is good, should your goal to get to automated?
No. That's a good question. And no, absolutely not.
Why is that?
My goal is not to eventually get it to automated. No, my goal is to maintain
great results,
KPIs, key performance indicators.
Sure.
And if I'm there with manual, then I will experiment with automated. And if automated does not provide a
material improvement,
a significant difference, I am not going to go if I get, a 5% bump, a 10% bump. No, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for significance, because what I'm giving up here is the ability to control quality of leads.
And you're not giving it up, because you can always get back to it. You can always just flip back to manual and put the bids that you had in place back in place. But I agree with you. You're not giving it up, but you're risking it. You're risking that you can't get it back. That we have a magic on this podcast. It's me, it's you, it's us together, and something just clicks. Mm-hmm. And some people who are egotistical would be tempted to just send their podcast partner hateful emails and texts at 2 a.m. saying, I'm going to fire you if you don't give me 70% of the show. But someone holds themselves back from doing that, because we know there's magic here.
Oh.
And you can't mess with the magic. And if we burn that bridge, we might not be able to get back to where we are today. And I've been in that spot too, Chris, where you're in manual, it's going okay. Bring it back here, Chris. Bring it back. Stop thinking about the turkey. Stop thinking about the
Okay,
gravy.
yeah, that's what I was thinking
Stop
about.
thinking about the mashed potatoes.
I was
Stop
thinking
thinking
of you
about
at
the
2
second
a.m.
day. Stop, stop thinking about the.
deleting that text. Like, that's it, Chris. I'm done. I worked too hard at this. You're not providing enough. Oh crap! And then you just start
Sounds
deleting the whole.
familiar.
Like I can just see all
Do
the
you read? Do you
lines.
read my drafts? You read my Twitter drafts at Paid Search Pod on Twitter. I guess you have access to the account too. Don't check
Yeah,
those drafts.
I must have.
Um, no, but there's a. Will you agree with this? Like, anytime you change anything in Google Ads that has really good performance, you can go back and do the exact same
Yeah,
thing,
that's
whether
true.
you're going back to manual or back
Yeah.
to automated or back to a keyword or whatever, and you may not necessarily get the same exact results. Haven't you been there before?
That. Oh my gosh. That's a great point, because once you make that turn and something happens, you're like, okay, it's fine. We'll go back. I have a backup of your account, so I know exactly where everything was before, and then you put it back in the exact same place. There absolutely could be some kind of magic that's gone. You can't put your finger on it, but absolutely. Sometimes you can go back to manual, but you may not ever be able to go back to what you were getting before, and you don't know what you had till it's gone.
That's exactly right. And you know what you had, though. You can put the same exact thing in place. But the thing with Google Ads is we don't know what we don't know. And both you and I
Right.
agree there's a whole lot going on behind the scenes that we're not in control of, that we don't really know how everything's affecting everything. And when you change something, you're at risk of never getting back to where you were. So I think the conclusion of this discussion here in 2022 of manual versus automated bidding is that even we are very, very open to both. Very open and much more open to automated than we were in the past, and use automated more than we did in the past because it's really improved. But whether you're going from manual to automated, from automated to manual, or from automated to a different automated strategy, the key thing is that you test it in an experiment and you don't mess with your original if it's getting good performance. And then if you decide to make that change, you better have enough data to be sure about that, and you better be improving in a material way. I think that's what I'm taking from this conversation.
Yeah. Oh well, I'll tell you what. We made some tough calls here. Jason, we'll take a little break here, and we'll come back and we'll hit a few more topics and try and draw some lines in the sand. What do you say?
That sounds good. We'll see you after the break.
Welcome back. We're going to jump right back into some more hard-hitting questions. But first, be sure, open a browser right now. You're at your computer. You're on your phone. Do it real quick. It's super easy to sign up for this tool, and then you can finally try it and get it behind you. You're missing out if you don't go to optio.com/PSP. This tool is taking the Google Ads community by storm. They're releasing new updates to it. The tool's getting better and better. There's no other advertiser that we trust with this show to tell you guys about than Optio. They've been with us a long time. Listeners are trying it and loving it. The tool's growing. Optio.com/PSP to get an 8-week free trial and get the best Google Ads management software on the planet.
Okay, Chris. So let's take another one here. Another major question here about Google Ads. Man, did I want an easy one after that? But let's just keep plowing through here, Chris.
Okay.
It's not like we're tired after the turkey or anything. I might get passive aggressive on Thanksgiving week. I just might eat steak every day. I might come to the Thanksgiving table with a steak, and then I might have some marital issues. We're gonna eat turkey. We're gonna eat turkey, statement. But I don't want to be tired. Yeah. Okay. Been eating a lot of steak lately, Chris. It's very good. Very good for you.
It's good. I can tell. You're aggressive.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I've been bringing it. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, been bringing it. Broad or no broad, Chris? This is a decision you have to make. You can't really do both. You're either running a broad keyword somewhere inside of your account, or you're not running a broad keyword somewhere inside of your account. The most consequential decision you can make about Google Ads? Wow. Maybe. I don't know. What do you think about that?
So do I jump in with my answer? Should I just go straight? Like so let me
I don't
define
know.
the line. Let me define it, and then I'm going to decide which side of the line I'm on. So either I get to run broad keywords, or I only have to run, or I only am able to run phrase and or exact match keywords. Jason,
No,
I
no, no. Don't phrase it.
no,
This is not a death match that you talked about.
no.
No, just
It's
are you going to run
that's
them somewhere in your account or not? You don't have
gun
to
to your
run them.
head. You're in the middle of the cage. It's a death
Yeah.
match.
What did I do to you, Chris?
I eat a lot of friggin' steak, Jason. I
Oh,
mean, I don't know
okay. I
what
guess
to
I don't
tell
eat
you.
enough. Yeah.
Come on, it's a
I mean, I'm
fight
having it
here.
for breakfast and dinner. I guess it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah,
Is what I'm
I mean,
needing.
get with it here.
Yeah. Okay.
Jason, I'm gonna always use broad at some capacity
Whoa.
on my campaigns.
I think a lot of people didn't see that coming.
Because I'm using manual bids because I can control them. So as our conversation at the beginning, if I'm diving into automated bids right at the beginning, I could probably do without broad keywords. Well, that's not true because automated bids actually do better with broad keywords.
It can work well with broad. Yeah.
But when it comes to control, the fact that I have control and I can say, okay, these phrase and exact keywords, I'm going to bid them at, baseline $3 bid. I'm willing to do this broad keyword, but I'm going to drop that to $1 on this broad keyword. The fact that I can do that allows me the ability to test. And I think broad keywords can be amazing. They are an amazing research tool. They're an amazing testing tool to get out there and find things that you would never find any other way. They attract incredible volume, and sometimes they can blow you away with how well they're doing. Absolutely. I'm all in for broad. I definitely want to use them. How I use them, that's a different conversation. But yeah, I'm in.
Wow. It's interesting. Well, one day we'll come out with the Paid Search podcast fashion line where it's just snarky sayings printed on clothing and accessories. And in this one, we would do something really funny, Chris. Something really funny.
What did I say?
Oh, no, I lost it, but I found it. I grabbed it. It was out there. I grabbed it.
Okay.
And it would say, I don't do keyword research. I run broad keywords.
That's
you
good.
like that? Do you
I'd
like
put that
that?
on
Do
the
you
shirt.
do you get what I'm getting at? You
Yeah.
know, on the front, I don't do keyword research, and on the back, because I run broad keywords. Don't you get it? Don't you get it?
If someone
mindset?
laughed at that, you would be like, "Oh, they're in the club."
Yeah. So yeah, I like broad keywords as well. I don't think I like them as much as you do, Chris. I'm very surprised by this.
Well, you have to really be comfortable with using them if you're doing automated bids. Am I wrong?
Well, I think I work in a lot of the same industries over and over again, so I know what happens with broad keywords in those industries. I know what searches we need to show up on, and I know what search terms get conversions. So maybe that's why I'm not using them as much these days. But yeah, I get it. It just, every day after the next, you're in a new industry, or if you're an advertiser who's new to Google Ads, it's a great way to kick off a campaign. Because of that keyword research, you can see what search queries, to some extent, sometimes you can't, but you can see to some extent what search queries are getting conversions, and you can get keyword ideas. When broad works, whether it's manual or automated bidding along with it, what's your goal? Is your goal to have it keep working, or is your goal to get it over to phrase and exact at some point?
My goal with a broad keyword is to take a knife, just gut it and pull out the good stuff and move that over to phrase and exact.
So it's not to run broad keywords forever.
No,
it's the mindset? Interesting.
No.
Okay.
I would absolutely take what's working well and to decodify that. Let me say, I'm looking at the search terms. I'm looking at the search terms from that broad keyword, and I'm saying, oh, wow, I never thought about that level of the funnel that I'm not targeting, or this whole other, side uh, 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 topic that
Yeah.
could lead to this funnel. That I never thought about that. So I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to maybe set up a new ad group, maybe an entire new campaign, and run with that.
Yeah.
I don't do keyword research. I run broad keywords. Love it.
Yeah. And, broad keywords are very interesting these days. You can look at the help document online, and they say to deliver relevant matches to you, they take into account the following: the user's recent search activities. So that's something we can't do inside the Google Ads account. That's like, you can't do that with your phrase and exact match keywords. You're going to pretty much show up on what you've been showing up on, unless you're doing like a target CPA bidding. But with broad match keywords, for sometimes you could show up on this, sometimes you could show up, or sometimes you could show up to this person, sometimes to that person, depending on what they've been searching for recently. And it does impact what search you could see in your search terms report, because say you're a moving company and someone does a search, moving checklist or something like that, and it's from the broad match keyword moving companies near me, broad match. For person A, if that's the first search they did, moving checklist, you may not show up with the broad match keyword there. But for someone that's been searching movers in Fort Worth moving companies, movers near me in Fort Worth, movers around me in Fort Worth, moving companies in Fort Worth, list of moving companies in Fort Worth, the best moving companies in Fort Worth, top moving companies in Fort Worth, best movers in Fort Worth, top movers in Fort Worth, movers in Fort Worth, Texas, moving companies in Fort Worth, TX. If they do all those kind of searches and then they search moving checklist, you'll probably show up there with your broad match keyword movers, moving companies near me. So that's a very interesting thing about it. Chris, you got to be, I want to say careful, but you got to be educated with broad match keywords. It's a very powerful tool. That's the way I look at it. It's like dynamite. Like, it can do a lot for you, but you got to be very careful. It takes into account the content of your landing page to determine what searches to show you on. So you got to judge the quality of the page and what it's saying. And then other keywords in the ad group. You got to craft the structure of your ad groups correctly to get the most out of your broad match keywords. That said, Chris, given all these new capabilities, man, there's nothing like a broad match keyword working and you knowing why it's working, because you have a great ad, great landing page. You've crafted your ad group the right way with similar keywords, and you get the benefit of that volume showing up on searches you would never target yourself, because Google knows more about the person and they knows it's a good person to show your ad on. You get the benefit of that volume. Isn't that a beautiful thing that you can't really get with the limited volume of phrase and exact?
Yep. I think it's worth it. I like it, and that's why I drew that line. And I'm on the on the side of using broad.
Sometimes it doesn't go so hot though.
Well, we don't.
Right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Doesn't it still not work sometimes?
Yeah. I mean, you can be stupid about your broad. Here we go.
All right. So you say so you say when broad keyword. What I'm trying to craft here is, what do people do when broad keywords are not getting them a cost per conversion they want? And are you saying it's a user error?
Yeah. There's dumb broad keywords that you can pick. I mean, you're using movers. I mean, broad keyword movers, bad idea.
Broad keyword
move,
bad idea.
Yeah, or yeah.
Broad keyword moving companies in Fort Worth.
Okay, see, now
that's pretty good, right?
Now you're getting there. Yeah, you can craft good broad keywords. I mean, yeah, absolutely. And there are bad choices, just like there's bad exact match and bad phrase match. There are bad broad match.
And what's our number one thing we think about, at least? Is it the number of words in the keyword phrase, the broad match keyword phrase?
That's the easiest distinction, is to say usually I prefer 3 to 4 words, because when you get down to 2, it's hard to identify context. And 1, there is no context.
So this is a clear yes on broad match keywords.
Yep.
For all search campaign, like all search, not campaigns, but accounts. Somewhere inside of your account at some point in time, try a broad match keyword, ad group, a campaign, and do it the right way.
Yeah.
And why is the why? Is it because of that volume that you can get that you want to get otherwise?
Yeah. It's volume.
It can also be cheaper too.
Yeah. And you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you're missing. You don't know what you can potentially get from it. I think it can be incredibly powerful.
Okay. Chris, let's leave it there. These are very strong topics. Broad match and no broad match, exact match, manual bidding. Very strong choices, very strong topics. I hope you had a strong Thanksgiving. I hope you had a strong amount of turkey. And I guess it's back to the meat for you and me next week. Back to the the red meat, the hamburgers, the steaks.
Yeah, red. Okay, yeah, it's been fun. Jason, thank you for joining me. And we forgot to mention that Jason and I are independent Google Ads managers. If you would like to reach me and inquire about my services, you can go to chrisschaefer.com, where you can find out about my coaching, my ongoing video series that I produce, where you can subscribe and get access to that. Or you can also reach out for management. Jason?
Yeah, thanks, Chris. I started this one day in Adelaide. I was just playing some music with some guys, and it ended up taking off. Been doing this almost every day since 2014 and built up a lot of experience. And happy to share that with you in your business, rothmanppc.com. Chris, have a great...
I don't know what
Don't
that
worry
means,
about it.
Yes,
don't worry about it.
Have a great winter wherever
week
we're
after
at
Thanksgiving.
now. Yeah.
Bye.